what to do. There's caffeine on the house, it's active, radioactive. Loving you felt like dying on the operating table, like climbing a ladder till I give up and fall. Like the anesthesia didn't work, and I feel the creation of every scar. Like a movie I'm chained to.
Wait, really quick, guys, I have to tell you about my GoFundMe for my music career. I have a GoFundMe for my music career starting from $0, raising money for ads to grow my audience and to reach record labels. If things grow, then I will eventually be using that money to turn my YouTube demos into full professional real recordings. And help me to go as far as possible. I bet if you guys will do your best to help me and to invest, you guys could probably turn me into the biggest pop star in the world. It's just going to really depend on how much you guys are willing and able to help me. So please do what you can to help, and I love you. Mwah. Bye.
I have 1 penny to buy this iced coffee, but this is everything you gave me. How did you know the gum on the ground was yours if you've never seen it before? There are no refunds for this part of me. Don't forget where you were when we met. I wanted to be liquidated, but they haven't found me yet. I'll spell it out for you when I'm free. There's disrespect in the water and the liquor can.
Having a twin flame is not easy. Not easy at all. I'm just like, what part of it do I even want to talk about? I don't know. People talk about the fun part of having a twin flame all the time,
they don't talk about the like heavy or difficult parts at all. You have to be able to develop your own self-concept to the point where you go from essentially having no right to complain about something to where you do, even if you're the only person who has a right to complain about the part that you decided you're not fine with. Having a twin flame, you can be imbalanced with that person for years, and in a spiritual way, it's a completely valid, real thing that's happening. But in a physical way, they just didn't agree to give you some kind of commitment. So, you can be like, you know, still hurt over the times that like they left you for someone else and you felt like you weren't supposed to be allowed to say anything about it just because of like society and the way people are not educated in the ways that would actually benefit them. They're just sort of told like, these are the things that you don't get to be a part of the conversation about. These are the things that you don't get, it's not going to be like you have a valid right to stand up for yourself about when you feel this way, that way, or that way, right? Like, people are so educated about what they're not like allowed to do by society. And so you could have waited multiple years to like sort of get mad about something that you actually didn't know you had a right to be mad about. So, but then when you finally decide to talk about it with your twin flame, right? They think now if they just like try to get you back or something, that it's like a valid argument. Like, then it's like an argument. It's not just you actually having a problem with something. It's like, well, now they're, instead of solving the problem, they're just gonna go both ways with it. They're gonna be like, oh, well, you're acting mad about this, I'm gonna act mad about this. Like, it's like, you decided it would, like, it'll be like, I don't know. You could wait years for the fact that you're, like, allowed to be mad about something, for that to even, like, catch up with you. Like, it can actually be years till you know that, like, it would be like valid for you to be like mad about something. I said what I said. It could be years and years and years before you're like, again, like valid in your own expression about something. So just because it's years later, when you decide to try to have a conversation, or even show them what it would feel like if they decided to be disrespectful to you. I know that's kind of not completely valid in some ways, but at the same time, it's like, if they are going to like admit they don't care to you,
then at that point, why do you not get to say what's on your mind? Even if it's crazy. But then, of course, if you do, they don't remember all the times you just didn't say something that you should have been completely valid in wanting to say for years and years and years, right? Because you were just a woman the whole time when you didn't say anything. Because that was what you were supposed to be. Was making sure that you're never the one who expresses why you're not fine with something, because that's not what you're supposed to do. In society, you have to kind of conform a lot sooner than that. A lot sooner than like, oh, you did this, I thought that was weird, like, whatever, I thought it was gonna be this, like, men in society have never seen women having a right to say what's on their mind, and it shows. Because the second that you do, they think it's an argument that deserves to go both ways to the same intensity as if you did not wait years to say anything. About the first time they did something crazy. About the 1,000 times they did something crazy, intentionally to you. Men in society think that, oh, you're standing up for yourself? This is a two-way argument. Oh, you're finally not fine with something? This is a two-way argument. No, it's not. Because when you decide, nah, it's going to be a two-way argument, you're deciding the imbalance is going to be permanent. Because every time that something... One second, I'll show you. Now I'm going to be crazy for this, so you're going to have to sit down and actually think about your choices in your life. Okay, ready? Oops, wait, I'm super bad at drawing. That is not a straight line all the way down the middle that I was going for. Okay. Let's start over. Still not really a good straight line all the way down the middle, but we're gonna go with that, okay? We're gonna try to go with that. It's fine. Actually, I made it even worse. At the bottom, I added that, trying to fix it, and got it on my nail, but yeah. We're gonna use pink and blue for obvious whatever, but you can make your version whatever it is, okay? Like, one of you doesn't have to be like a boy, one of you doesn't have to be a girl, whatever, but like you have to get the point, okay? Little stick figures. Now this looks like some weird experiment, okay? So, now that we have whatever that is, I think you get it. I think you understand the whole entire story now. Okay, but there's more to it, okay? Say, I don't know, what should some examples be? Okay. Say your twin flame you start talking to them and they say something rude or something, but you just don't say anything about it. You're like, okay, like maybe he's just a man, and that's why he said something crazy that should never have happened, okay? Like the first time you meet or something, right? So it's like, okay, here's one little thing that happened, right? That I'm just not gonna say anything about. He's over here like, yep, this is a normal life situation. You're like, okay, this is not a normal life situation by like 1 degree, but I'm just not gonna say anything about it. You know where this is going. Okay. Okay, let's see. Then he's a man again. He just says something crazy out of nowhere. He just says something crazy again. That probably not, like, should not have happened, right? It kind of keeps going in a way. Okay, let's see. Say did you guys just meet? Or are you in like a talking stage that you're not even sure that you're in, but then he decides he's gonna text you, he's gonna say, it's sort of from a perspective like, I have to let you know, I'm actually dating somebody else now. And you're like, wait, I didn't even know that it was on the table that we were technically in a talking stage, because you didn't even let me know. You just want to let me know that it's over. But you letting me know that it's over is because you think I was the one who saw this as you having a commitment to me, because you thought, oh, I could, like, you thought I could never be like a strong, empowered woman and actually like find somebody else or something. Like, you thought that was already not going to be possible for me, so you wanted to express that in a disrespectful way, because having a normal, evolved version of this conversation doesn't exist. Oh, but you're just a man, so it's fine. So you're not gonna say anything about it. You're just gonna be like, yeah, he's just a man. Okay, let's see. How many times is he just gonna be a man before you ever say something? I'm not even thinking of like specific things at all, but it's generally like something like that at some point, right? For a lot of people, it's gonna be like that for a while, right? You're just like, yeah, but he's a man, so he's doing what he does best, which is just being a man and not having people say anything about it, right? That's fine. Then one day you decide you're gonna be a little bit rebellious. Somehow you came across the idea that women can be crazy too. So you say something, and now it looks like that, right? He's like, okay, maybe this is normal, because he's a man, he's never had that happen before. But that's okay. You're a woman. It probably looks something like this at the point, okay, study this for a second. Okay. He is like, she is insane. She's the craziest woman I've ever met. Because normally, without this, is what his relationships have always looked like. Right? Say this wasn't there, right? That is what his relationships always look like. And so because of that, you look really bad, but now it looks like it's going both ways. You don't compare to everybody else because it's going both ways. You don't compare to everybody else when it starts going both ways. So he's like, I can't believe she did that. Guess what I'm gonna do? I have to make sure that she never does it again. Okay. It's gonna be pretty insane. Okay. Now it looks like this. Because he's like, oh my god, I have to make sure she never does that again. I have to make sure she never does that again. And then she's like, wait, I can't believe what he just did. That's not normal, right? So now it looks like this. Now he's really freaking out. He cannot understand because normally he has none of these. right? But he's never seen a situation where there were none on the other side that he didn't cause. Or that he caused. You know what I mean? Like, he's never seen a situation where there were no blue lines over here. But he's never seen a situation where he had any. Or more than one. Or something like that, right? Not normally. Not normally. Not normally, right? So, because you added one, right? Don't worry. Don't worry. He's gonna make sure you never know why you did that. Right? Now it's gonna be like that. Because he doesn't know why you did that one. Right? This was fine. That was extreme for some reason, right? Because he decided it's fine to be fine with that. Right? But he decides, no, like, that's not what an empowered man looks like. So this one is gonna send him over the edge, and that's why you got all of this right here. All of those were not there, right? You following? Okay. Yeah, so he's like crashing out over this right here. That. And you're like, since when do you not know what it's like? Meanwhile, she's assuming his probably looks like filled up completely, right? Just over like that one, because he starts freaking out. She's like, okay, it's probably valid that he's freaking out about that. But he ends up like this, okay? At that point, again, okay, wait. Now guess what the next part is. Okay, so now it's gonna be like that, because that right there, yeah, he was not fine with that. So he made sure to do all of that, then end the relationship, right? Cool, normal, right? He's pretty sure that was the worst relationship he's ever had. She's pretty sure that was like the best relationship possible. The best relationship she's ever had. And he's like, that's the worst I've ever seen it being. Can't believe that happened. She's like, yeah, that seems about what I expected, actually way better. Okay? But, because of this right here, he said, wait, I'll show you. He says, this I can understand, because I've messed up too. I'm not even kidding. Okay, he said, and this is a pretty normal, right? He says, this right here, I can totally understand, because I've messed up too. This pushed me over the edge right here. I cannot believe she would ever do this. I cannot believe anybody would do this. This is like what a man is, especially if they're straight, okay? Or attracted to women or anything like that, right? Okay. So he says this right here, never gonna be fine again. I'm never gonna talk to her again. She's like, I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. So he ends the relationship or whatever, or like decides, okay, we're not gonna be talking anymore. Again, that's the point where he decides, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Okay. Then she's like, oh wait, I guess what I did was so messed up. Yeah. It's pretty sad. It's gonna be like that. And then, you know, he's just moving on with somebody else, making sure to do all of that to somebody else. Because that's what an empowered man should deserve in society. Like, unironically to the whole planet. Just think about that. Just think about that. But that's like the normal version. Both of these people, they're both completely sure this is what the normal dynamic would be like, though. That's pretty extreme. That's pretty extreme, right? What's going on the planet? I mean, I think the only part this guy over here got right is that 7 seems extreme, right? 7 seems extreme. She messed up 7 times? How many is this over here? I'm pretty sure it's 145. But I'm maybe I'm bad at math. I'm pretty bad at math. I don't know. So, yeah. So this is like 145. And he's like, I know I did all that and whatever. I know I caused some stuff, but 7 is extreme. I'm gonna make sure I tell all my friends that 7 happened before. He says, I don't know if I need to make some public online post letting other men know that it's possible that 7 can happen. I've just seen something I'm pretty sure no man on the planet's ever seen. Like, actually. I don't know if I need to find some way to get her back, even though I've never seen her since then. I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, she's like, I hope he's doing fine, because I don't know what that was. She's pretty sure she messed up. He's pretty sure he did amazing. I said, he's pretty sure she messed up. She's pretty sure he did amazing. And she's like, wow, I don't know if men in society have ever heard about this before, but I hope that he knows he's valid if he cares about his childhood trauma, and I hope that he knows that, like, it actually does matter and stuff. But then he's like, I've got to make sure I find some way to use this as much as possible, or I'm never gonna get what I deserve out of what happened or whatever. Like, it can be so backwards. And obviously, yeah, they're valid for the actual trauma part of it. But when it becomes, I'm gonna make sure I find some way to use this every opportunity I have to get everything I possibly can out of people feeling bad for me for no reason, it becomes a weird, like, dance of, like, how much should I let be fine because of the clearly, like, negative experiences you have had before. It's like you're sitting there like, okay, how much, when is it gonna be like when am I going to try to stand up for myself in a way? Like, I'm probably gonna put that off for a lot longer because I know, okay, you've had negative experiences, you've got to make sure that you're not being harmed, even by me in some way I don't know about, but I'm not, like, actually doing anything. And then he's like, okay, nobody's cared about me before. His perspective, right? He's like, I've, like, his first person perspective, he's like, nobody's ever cared about me before. I've got to make sure I can use all of the sympathy I could possibly get every single time I can ever have the conversation. I'm gonna bring it up and make sure that it becomes even more like, it's not that it shouldn't be known about. It's just like, how much longer do you put off trying to have a conversation about something that does not go both ways, right? just because you don't want them to feel manipulated by you, guess what? They've been looking, like, sometimes it's like they'll be looking up like how to gaslight a woman without her finding out, you know what I mean? And then she's like, okay, I've got to make sure I'm only standing up when it really, 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 really matters, because I don't want to trigger like his childhood trauma that he probably doesn't even understand still. Or maybe he does, but like, maybe it's my responsibility to make sure I wait a million times longer to bring up a problem between us. What? And then he's like Googling, like, is there a way to gaslight a woman without her finding out? Like, how often should I be seen with other women to make sure she gets the message that I'm just like a really confident, important man? And she's like, okay, I've got to make sure that I'm not making him feel forced to conform to whatever I think is a good idea, because it's going to be triggering for his trauma. He's like, have I been manipulative enough to make sure I got the whole planet back for whatever happened to me? She's like, you know, how can I make sure the other person matters more to make up for whatever happened? What? 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 I think then, you know, when they finally have something in common, it looks a lot more like he's like, she's messed up one too many times. Ugh, she's probably somebody I'm never gonna care about. And then she's like, actually, somebody you're never gonna care about? You're probably right, because you probably would have started caring by now if you had the capacity to even do that. You probably would have started caring by now if you had the capacity for it. Right? Right? It's been a long time. Why have you not grown the capacity by now? You're pretty old to not still have the capacity, right? Right? Or do I just think that because I'm weird? And mind you, this all happens before he even gets to the point where he wants to name drop resources he doesn't actually have, or before he wants to try to hold her accountable for something, right? Like, so how soon into the conversation does that already happen? Lying about where he was, does that happen before you guys are even dating or after? Because you're in pretty deep already if he can't even be honest about where he actually was, and he's gonna make some weird plan to lie about it when you're just friends. He's trying to make you jealous, but he's the one who's choosing if you're just friends. You're trying to ruin my emotional availability, but you don't even want me? That's crazy. That's so sad. That's so sad. That's so sad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then, after all that happens, he can't figure out why you don't want to be just friends. So he can throw you in with everybody else who he tried to make you jealous with, because they're also just his friends, right? He can't figure out why, because of course being just his friend is some amazing opportunity nobody could ever possibly deserve. He can't figure out why you thought something else was going on when he tried to make you think something else was going on without really saying it. He can't figure out why it worked all the times he was trying to make you think something else was going on when nothing else was going on. Or when something else was going on. He can't figure out. He can't figure it out. He can't figure it out. He can't figure it out. He can't figure out why it worked all the time he was intentionally trying to make you jealous. He can't figure out why it worked, because he must have some kind of weird superpowers if it worked. The superpowers must come from how he's a man if it worked. But it worked because he just did what he knew would work with the intention of it working, and it wasn't that hard because you already cared. So it wasn't that hard for him to bring out the part where you cared for that part to like it's not hard if you already know why somebody cares about you to make them jealous. Oh, and then also make them think that you're not just friends. And then be like, why do you want to be more than my friend? That's so invasive. This always happens. I can't believe that's happening. Oh my god. I'm so important. I can't believe this is happening. You're so important because you deserve better than that happening? Or are you so important and that's how you're manifesting this happening? Or are you so important and that's why there's so many people who want to be more than friends so you can't more than friends, right? They already are. They already are. Right, they would have to be cut off for you to have an actual relationship. Oh, but you can't abandon your friends because those are the only kinds of friends you have. Why are those the only kinds of friends you have? Wait a minute. Why are those the only kinds of friends you bother keeping? Because you're always going to be a little bit more than friends with all the people who don't know that you're a little bit more than friends with them. Because if you could lay out all of the things that were happening at the same time, maybe they could decide if they could actually consent to being more than friends with you in this long-lasting relationship. No, they're actually going to not know what's going on for years and years and years. A lot of people are going to not know what's going on for years and years and years. Because you never said you were emotionally available. You just made sure to come across that way just enough so that you could use the advantage that comes with or something. What? 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 Say that again? Say that again? Say that again? What? 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 Oh wait, I'm already mad at you and you decide to intentionally make me jealous, like really like trying to, or intentionally make me think it's going this one way that would be really great. Oh, but I can't actually believe you because you always do this so much that I can see it coming that it's not actually going where you think it is or where you're trying to say it is. What? 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 Oh wait, your plan to make me mad or your like negligence in causing that to happen worked. And you just can't take the fact that it worked. Well, it worked. Your plan worked. Your plan worked. And that's the part you have a problem with? Your plan worked and that's the part you have a problem with? What? If we were not both very intelligent people, obviously, I would think you were very stupid. If we were not both some of the most intelligent people I know, I would think you were very stupid. So now it looks like you planned the whole thing, which is worse. At that point, just be stupid. What? 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 I think I explained that very well. Without talking down to anybody, actually. I think I explained that pretty well. It doesn't matter if it's your plan, if you did the things that normally do that and it worked. It doesn't matter if that one time you did it by accident, if you did the things that normally do that and it worked. You did the things that normally make somebody jealous. You did the things that normally make somebody upset. You did all of the things that you wouldn't want to have happen to you. And you're surprised it worked. Because you must have some magical godlike superpowers if it worked. Where do you think the magical godlike superpowers are coming from then? If it can't possibly just be the recipe that you just did. Like, you put in all the right items to bake the cake. You even cracked the eggs. You even put it in the oven. And it baked a cake. You must have some magical godlike superpowers because it baked the fucking cake. Okay. Okay. It baked the cake. So, what's the plan? Nothing? You did all that for no reason. Just to blame somebody else for the cake? Okay. You put it in the oven. You put it in the oven. Anyway, wait. I realized my hair actually looks so bad though. Wait. I feel like I need to put something on my hair to make it like way more. It's not even tangled, it's just like so frizzy. Like, oh my god. I'm like, how bold was I to say all of that and not even look perfect while doing it? Obviously. How could I possibly deserve the opportunity to say any of that if I didn't look perfect while doing it? Yeah, I don't know where that's gonna come from. Expendable resource. I'm kidding, I don't know. That's probably like all kinds of stuff. I don't know, dude.
They can't tell me what to do. There's caffeine on the house, seductive, radioactive. Loving you felt like dying on the operating table, like climbing a ladder till I give up and fall. Like the anesthesia didn't work, and I feel the creation of every scar. Like a movie I'm chained to.
Wait, really quick, guys. I have to tell you about my GoFundMe for my music career. I have a GoFundMe for my music career starting from $0, raising money for ads to grow my audience and to reach record labels. If things grow, then I will eventually be using that money to turn my YouTube demos into full professional real recordings. And help me to go as far as possible. I bet if you guys will do your best to help me and to invest, you guys could probably turn me into the biggest pop star in the world. It's just going to really depend on how much you guys are willing and able to help me. So please do what you can to help, and I love you. Mwah. Bye.
I have 1 penny to buy this iced coffee, but this is everything you gave me. How did you know the gum on the ground was yours if you've never seen it before? There are no refunds for this part of me. Don't forget where you were when we met. I wanted to be liquidated, but they haven't found me yet. I'll spell it out for you when I'm free. There's disrespect in the water and the liquor can't